Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can. In the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
It's the first day of March, Friday, March 1st, 2024, and this is the Washington Times front page. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. President Biden visited the border in Texas, blaming Donald Trump for gridlock on immigration and pleading with Congress to forego politics and pass a border policy bill. Jeff Murdoch and Stephen Diner report the president attempted to reframe one of his biggest political liabilities as an opportunity for statesmanship. He accused his predecessor of practicing rank partisan politics in opposing a bill, saying legislation would clear Congress if Trump backs it. Several hundred miles up the Rio Grande, Trump was making his own border visit. He leaned into the immigration issue, claiming that he solved the problems at the border when he was president and could do it again. Biden is reportedly pondering executive actions to revive some of the Trump policies he used to decry as cruel, and has publicly reversed his position on detaining illegal immigrants and restricting asylum claims. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin tried to convince lawmakers that the nation's security was in safe hands during an undisclosed hospital stay last month, but House Armed Services Committee members weren't buying his explanation. Mike Glenn reports the hearing was the first opportunity for lawmakers to question Austin over the lack of transparency about his stay at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. The White House, Congress, and Pentagon colleagues were kept out of the loop for days about Austin's December 22nd prostate cancer treatment and the complication that sent him back to the hospital on January 1st. Austin described his initial cancer diagnosis as a gut punch and called it a very personal and deeply troubling issue. He insisted he never directed his staff not to inform the White House about his medical condition. Although he's repeatedly apologized for his handling of the affair, Austin insisted there were no gaps in control of the Pentagon at the time, even when he was taken into an intensive care unit and his responsibilities transferred to Deputy Secretary Kathleen Hicks. A senior Environmental Protection Agency lawyer managed cleanup efforts and congressional oversight of the toxic train derailment last year in East Palestine, Ohio, although her husband's law firm was defending the company responsible for the wreck. Documents obtained by our Ramsey Touchberry revealed that the EPA Ethics Office allowed Deputy General Counsel for Environmental Programs and Oversight Natalia Sargenti to remain on the case after conflict of interest concerns emerged months into her work. Her husband's firm, Wilmer Hale, represented the Norfolk Southern Railroad. Norfolk Southern is weathering legal headwinds on several fronts: private class action lawsuits, a lawsuit from Ohio authorities, and an EPA Justice Department civil lawsuit for damages and alleged violations of the Clean Water Act. California Representative Adam Schiff is a couple of steps away from becoming a U.S. Senator and hopes Republican and baseball legend Steve Garvey will help him close the books on his Democratic rivals. Seth MacLachlan reports Schiff leads the race to replace the late Dianne Feinstein. The top two vote-getters in Tuesday's nonpartisan primary will advance to the November election. As a result, much of the focus has been on the battle for second between Garvey, a star baseball player in the 1980s for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Democratic Representative Katie Porter, who's known for her tough questioning of business and pharmaceutical company leaders. The curveball is that Schiff would like Garvey to advance to the November election because he considers the Republican easier to beat than Porter. And finally, the commander of the U.S. Strategic Command told Congress that China is showing no signs of slowing the pace of its nuclear weapons delivery systems program. Bill Gertz reports Air Force General Anthony Cotton told the Senate Armed Services Committee that the speed of China's nuclear force buildup in recent years is a major worry. Cotton said Chinese military leaders are speeding up the deployment of nuclear forces, including sharp increases in land-based missiles, missile-firing submarines, and a new bomber. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.